Hello everyone! Today, back a window to the south, it's here at ITC, the Immunity Therapy Center, and Dr. Adolfo Carrillo is here with us, and he's going to tell us about the importance of the medical records. And I can't wait to talk to him. He is a great doctor. He's very charismatic. He's been working with Dr. Batista for 6 years now, and well, let's see what he has to say about that. Hello, doctor. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Happy to be here with you.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here with you as well. Thank you so much for this interview. And doctor, I would like to start by you telling us what does a patient's past medical record contains?
The past medical records, they contain very valuable information, right? From the full name, age, birth date, their jobs, past medical history on the family, their own past medical history, current medication, the current problems, blood work studies, everything that it's been from the beginning towards the current problem, right?
Excellent. And how does a patient's past medical record assist you in helping the patient?
They'll help a lot, actually, help us to get a whole picture of the problem, help us to understand previous treatments that they received, what worked, what not, helps me to customize their program. So it's very helpful for getting them the proper treatment that they need.
Yeah, most definitely. I can't imagine. I mean, it's like the record right over there, right? And can innocent wrong treatment decisions be made by a doctor that it's like unaware of a patient past medical record or drug interaction which the patient does not even remember?
Definitely. Most important there, I would say, infections, previous infections that antibiotics didn't work. Allergies as well. If we are aware of that, we can prescribe something that can harm them, or treatments that will interfere with their current medication. So definitely it could happen if we don't know the whole situation, right?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, I can imagine. And since medical records are critical to the patient's care, do you recommend for patients to keep personal possessions of their medical records?
Of course. I've had patients, the recommendations either physically or digital, right? But I've had patients before where they have a whole folder with all medical notes, the report from scans, blood work, treatment, folders like this. So it's very helpful for me to know the full history. Definitely I'll recommend to have something like that.
So doctor, about the US HIPAA laws govern US citizen records, does Mexico have something similar?
We do. It's called COFEPRIS, and it would be the translation in Federal Commission of Protection Against Sanitary Risks. They're in charge of the medical records in Mexico.
Excellent. And since in Mexico has become a primary international destination for cancer care, especially for US and Canadian citizens, how long does Mexican government require you to keep a patient chart of a medical record?
Legally, it's 5 years. If it's more than that, we can dispose from those records, but maximum 5 years, yeah.
Okay, so 5 years. And do you provide new patient medical intake forms in the English language?
Definitely. Of course, that on our files, it has to be in Spanish since we're in Mexico, but we provide them with copies in English so they can understand what they're going to sign and what they're doing here.
And that it's, great, just amazing that you're bilingual, right?
Yes.
So you just managed to, speak in English and Spanish.
Of course, that's one of the requirements. Everyone here in the building speaks both English
bilingual.
and Spanish.
Wow, something else. Great about ITC, most definitely. And doctor, when once someone become an ITC patient, will you add to their medical records in English or Spanish?
Well, both. In our files, again, has to be in Spanish legally, but for them, when it's time for the discharge or when we give them reports from the scans, blood work, everything, it's in English for them so they can understand too what's the situation.
Great, great. Like I said, that's a great, it's a plus, most definitely. Okay, doctor, will you translate the patient's ITC medical records into English for them to take back home with them?
Definitely. At the end of the treatment, we give them all the records, what they brought, and what we have, the new ones, in English, so they can have them as well.
Excellent, excellent. And will you provide the patient with copies of any image study done in Mexico, like PET, CT scans, MRIs, etc.?
Yeah, we do. Mainly it's physically, and the US is mainly digital. Everything it's online. But here in Mexico, we're going to give them the records physically, both images and reports.
And doctor, tell me, do you explain to the patients what your medical records mean so they can explain to their US or Canadian-based medical doctors?
Yes, through the whole program, we are explaining them constantly their blood work, their new studies, and at the end of the program, we have a final meeting where we give them the medical summary, again, the reports, images, and we explain everything again, so they're aware of the whole situation and where we at that point.
Most definitely. And can a US or Canadian-based medical doctor contact you to discuss the medical records you created for the US or Canadian patient while they were under your care?
Of course, we're open. Anything we can do for our patients. If the doctor has questions on treatments or anything, they can call us for sure.
Dr. Adolfo Carrillo, thank you so much for this interview. I think this was very helpful. I believe that ITC, you have the best treatment, I can tell, and I hope you see you again anytime soon. All right? Wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much for the interview, and hopefully we'll do this again.
Most definitely. And thank you for joining us here at ITC in Baja Window to the South.